On that note, you guys hung 60 points on the board. How important was it for your offense to keep plugging away while the defense kind of struggled there a little bit?
I think it was obviously really important. I think the biggest thing was just that collectively from the top, starting with Coach Harsin all the way down to the bottom, everybody involved in the organization kept their poise. That was the biggest thing. I think we probably learned from our Air Force game and get down a little bit and you start to panic a little bit and you kind of get out of your element of who you are offensively and what your game plan was. And I think we just did a good job of just maintaining the poise and never panicking, never getting to a point where our players had any kind of, they had that letdown about them. But it was just a lot of really good things from both sides of the ball and special teams in that game, and it was a true team win.
Jay said that you told him earlier this week, don't be afraid to score on the first play.
I did. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was actually in we gave the openers tips and tests, and it was on the team guide last night, and actually said that on there. I typed it up for him. Yeah, don't be afraid to score on the first play. So, golly, I can't even remember that play. It's been a while since that. A lot happened to
when you see those first two plays go 75 yards for touchdowns, you're just like, okay, I guess it's gonna be one of those days.
I thought it was maybe just an aberration. It was gonna go back to being what you kind of thought the game would be. But I'll tell you what, man. Obviously I didn't have a chance to watch their offense a lot, but you got some guys that can roll. I mean, they had some speed, and very impressed with the way that they played. I thought the defense battled. I mean, we were far from perfect. Situational football wasn't our best day in terms of third down. We didn't have our best day of third down. We'll do a better job of preparing on that. But overall, I think that it was a back and forth game, obviously, and to dig deep and be able to find a way to win on both sides of the ball. And special teams meant a lot.
Second half, you guys had to settle for a couple field goals back to back, and then when you needed a couple touchdowns in the fourth quarter, you were able to finish them off.
Yeah, and I think that was. Those can be debilitating blows to an offense when you get a turnover inside the 10-yard line and you don't score a touchdown on that. Obviously, I had to catch my breath and regain my poise and just kind of say, hey, let's just keep going, keep pounding it, keep doing what we're doing and not panic at all. And those are disappointing. You learn from them, but the biggest thing is we didn't turn the ball over at all. All that that was the difference between winning and losing in that game. We talked about it all the time. Is we've not lost a football game when we didn't turn it over, and that held true tonight. Even when you give up a good amount of rushing yards, which is generally a stat of winning football games, but the turnover piece really came into play tonight.
How about Grant? Continuing almost as solid with that offense, and between rushing and passing, he had something like 500 total yards.
Yeah, that kid. I mean, I just so impressed with him, and every week, he and our offense and myself and all of us that work here, I mean, we try to reinvent ourselves, and he's just done such a good job of week by week just reinventing himself and just almost kind of flushing the previous week, no matter how good it was, how bad it was. But obviously he's starting to feel the confidence in this offense quite a bit. And he just made some great decisions, tucking the ball and running on design pass plays, and I just can't say enough about his toughness too. I mean, he took some shots and kept on firing.
Did you guys expect him to run as much as he did tonight? Was that part of the game plan?
It really wasn't. I mean, we always want him to get his touches in the run game as well, and a lot of it's option based. But some of the big plays that he had running the football were on design pass plays, and he just put his foot in the ground and he was awesome. He really was. I mean, I was just really blown away by how dynamic he was tonight.
That Chaz Anderson touchdown that kind of put you guys over the top. Hurst was saying that was a play you guys just sort of felt like that was the route and it was going to work when it came.
Yeah, it was kind of that route was kind of on the tip of my tongue for a couple quarters actually, and it was just something that it was a very heavy run tendency in that formation, and we were able to get low safeties and blow the top off the coverage. And at the end of the day, though, it just came down to players making plays. It really did. I mean, Grant laid out a good ball, but Chaz just said, hey, enough's enough. I'm gonna make a play, and I'm gonna score a touchdown. And that's the one thing we talked about with him is, hey, we got to get you in the end zone. You've had a lot of really good plays down the field, but we got to get you home. And he got home, and I kind of challenged him a little bit at halftime after the deep ball that we threw earlier in the game. It was a contested deep ball, slightly underthrown. I said, you got to make those plays, and he did in the biggest moment. And I think that should be on SportsCenter.